Hi, thank you for joining us for another episode of Father and Son of Star Wars podcast. Before we discuss the next episode, I just wanted to take some time to remember J.W. Rinsler. Jonathan Rinsler, if you remember, Keith and I did a podcast episode a few weeks back regarding our Star Wars collection, and I highlighted three books that were written by Jonathan Rinsler. This is the making of Star Wars, the original Star Wars episode. He did all three books of the original trilogy. As I said before, these books were in depth. They were very informative. They gave great interviews, talked about pre-production to release. It is comprehensive. It is one of the books, three of the books that I referenced very much in regards to how these iconic films were made. And this is all due to Jonathan Rinsler. Unfortunately, Jonathan Rinsler passed away this past week. We wanted to just send our thoughts and prayers to his family and just let him know how much he meant to the Star Wars community for the contributions he's given us. So thank you very much for your time.
Hi, I'm Keith, and this is my dad, Kerwin. Welcome to Father and Son, a Star Wars podcast.
Thank you very much for joining us once again. Before we get into our spoiler review of this episode, just want to take some time to acknowledge two people. Last week, we had our first interview on the podcast, and that was with Mr. Mark Daniel. If you have not seen the interview, we encourage you to go to our YouTube channel and check it out. Mark also included some personal photos there, but it was informative, it was funny, and it was very educational. So we just want to just give a thanks again to Mark Daniel. And a special thank you to Ashley Eckstein, who left us a video message at the end of the episode. So thank you, Ashley, for being so nice and so kind in your busy schedule to actually leave that message for us. So once again, if you want to see that episode, please find it on the YouTube channel. You can also get it on any other streaming platform. Okay. All right. So here we are ready to review episode 15, Return to Kamino, Star Wars: The Bad Batch. You ready?
Yep.
Let's get into it. All right. So where we left off last week, Hunter was captured by the Empire. Crosshair is now taking Hunter back to Kamino. And that makes sense to me because my impression is Crosshair is taking Hunter back in order to get a new inhibitor chip placed in Hunter's head so that he can now be controlled by the Empire, just like Crosshair. Right. And then Crosshair sends a communications channel to the Bad Batch to let them know where to find Hunter. Obviously, this is a trap for them. Right. OK. And once Crosshair and Hunter get to the Kamino facility, it's deserted.
Yeah, there's no clones, no Kaminos, and no droids either.
Right. Nothing. It was pure white. Like you've seen people walking down the halls and there's usually so busy.
By the way, the reason why it's white is because the Kaminos don't see the same as we do. Oh. So it's not white to them.
Oh, really? Wow. That's very interesting. I didn't know that. All right. Well, you can admit, though, that it was kind of eerie not seeing anybody else there. Okay. All right.
I really didn't notice.
Right. You didn't notice. Okay. Well, anyway, so the batch gets the signal. Obviously, they're going to try to save Hunter. Omega knows a way to get inside the facility. She knows a secret pathway into the facility. So they end up in a lab facility. And who do they find there?
They have to find AZ3. Remember him from the first episode?
Exactly.
He was also in the third episode, so that means the last time we saw him was 12 episodes ago.
Yeah, a long time ago, but AZ showed up, and he is hiding from the Empire, and he's filling the batch in as to what's going on. All the essential Kaminoan medical facilities, those people working in the medical facility
they got shipped off. So did the clones, but so that were reassigned.
Yeah, that was kind of strange. Reassigned. I don't know exactly what that means, but apparently the clones are not there. They've been reassigned and transported off-world. We don't know. I guess we'll find out later on. Well, so now getting further into the episode, the batch finds Hunter and Crosshair. There is a standoff between the batch and Crosshair. There are troopers surrounding them all. but Crosshair, sorry, has them actually set up, and he takes them out, and all we have left are the Bad Batch is Hunter and Crosshair and the standoff. And with Omega, she's trying to help, and she releases a few of these battle droids, and of course, a battle takes place. But the important thing is, Hunter is trying to figure out what is Crosshair up to, and he says to Crosshair, "This is not you. Why are you doing this? This is not you that's controlling you. It's that inhibitor chip that is inside your head." And Crosshair makes this revelation. He says he had his inhibitor chip removed a long time ago. What? Okay, let's stop here and talk about this. First of all, why do you think Crosshair had his inhibitor chip removed?
No
Any
idea.
idea? Well,
I didn't even think why. I was just like, no. I felt like Darth Vader after Revenge of the Sith.
well, interesting. I think the reason why he had it removed was because of the burn. What happened, what took place with the engines, where he got too close to the engines and he was burned badly on the right side of his face. And the right side of his head. And I think the chip had to be damaged at the time, so they needed to get that chip out. But what my question is, why wasn't there a chip replaced? So it brings me back to another question. Did the Empire know that Crosshair removed his chip? I'm under the impression that they don't, because if they knew that this chip was removed, they would immediately requested that a new chip be put in.
But who removed it? Is the thing.
Okay, here's my thought. I know Crosshair had help, and it had to be Nalase, right? She's the chief scientist there. So she might have performed this operation without the knowledge of the Empire, which is not a good thing, because if the Empire were to find out that he got his chip removed and she helped him remove his chip and didn't replace it with a new chip, she could be in big trouble. So we'll see about that. And the third question is, which is a question I am still baffled with, but let's see if we can work this out. If Crosshair does not have a chip in his head, and he has free will, and he's making decisions on his own, and he also knows the purpose of the Empire getting rid of or eliminating the clones, why does he still want to work for the Empire? And more importantly, why does he want the Bad Batch to work with him on the Empire side?
I don't know. Maybe he's just been drinking the crazy juice or something.
Yeah, it's just unusual. I don't know what his tactic is. Well, from watching the episode, I'm getting the impression that he thinks because they have enhanced abilities that they're not like the other regs. They have enhanced abilities and strength and smarts and senses that none of these other clones have, that they feel that they're more valuable to the Empire than the other clones.
Yeah, more valuable.
Right. But honestly, we know
the end of the episode just blows that away.
Okay, before we get to the end of the episode, the Empire does not like clones. A clone is a clone is a clone. It doesn't matter whether you are a reg or you are a special clone. Tarkin clearly does not like clones. Aunt Rampart doesn't like anything that Tarkin doesn't like. So I don't know why, Crosshair is a smart man, or smart clone, but he's naive. So if he thinks that, because of their abilities that they're going to get a pass by the Empire, I don't know. I really think he's really, far reaching. But anyway, so there's a standoff between Hunter and Crosshair. Hunter gets the best of him. He stuns him and puts him out, and he's fine, but he's knocked out for a little bit. Meanwhile, one of the troopers sends a message to Admiral Rampart and lets him know that Crosshair has the situation out of control. Rampart tells the trooper, get your men, or get the rest of the clones, get the rest of the troopers off Kamino, get him out of here, and just leave the clones to fend for themselves. Just leave them there. So they haul out, get all the rest of the troopers out. They get on a shuttle, they take off. All that's left on the facility are the Bad Batch, and they're battling each other.
Crosshair.
Right. And Crosshair. Right. And then Admiral Rampart sends a message to Tarkin to let him know that the facilities have been evacuated. All the essential medical personnel has been shipped. All the clones have been reassigned. There is nobody left on the facilities. Everything is secure, and the Empire also has the cloning technology they need. They have that. That's in the hands of the Empire now. And Tarkin says, good, you may fire when ready.
Yep, the classic line.
How many times have we heard that before, right?
Yeah, didn't he say that in A New Hope?
Absolutely, he did. Yes, it's when he destroyed Alderaan, right before that. Okay, well, and then the next scene that takes place is so breathtaking. You have these 3 Star Destroyers.
Venator-class shuttles, I think they were.
Yes, firing at the Kaminoan facility while the Bad Batch is trying to flee. And that's how it ends. And I will tell you, seeing that moment is one of, to me, it's iconic already. I mean, it just happened, but it's one of those scenes that I will never forget. It was just that powerful. So that's where we leave off. This is part 1 of the episode. And part 2 is going to be the season finale that's going to take place next Friday. We are going to be here to cover that. We're going to talk about it. We're going to discuss it and break it down. We can't wait. All right. Now, remember in episode 13, we had some questions that we were hoping to get answered. Yep. And we weren't sure whether they were going to be answered in this season or if they're going to be in next season. So I thought it'd be fun to play a little game as to, okay, are the questions, so it's either A, the question has already been answered, B, it's going to be answered in episode 16, or C, we're going to have to wait until season 2 to find the answer. Yep. Okay, so all right, so let's get started. Let's start with the first question. So, is Omega Force sensitive? Do you think we'll know by episode 16, or will we have to wait until next season?
I'm hoping episode 16, but yeah, that's what I'm going to go with.
Okay, yeah, I feel the same way. I think something big, something bold is going to happen that's going to feature Omega, and she's going to be in a place where she's going to save her life and the lives of the Bad Batch.
Yeah, she might use the Force to save them.
Exactly.
They're literally underwater in a sinking facility. Mm-hmm. Why not use the Force?
Yeah, so I really think something big like that is going to happen in the season finale. All right, so next question. When and how will the Empire dismantle the clones? That's probably going to, well, the thing is, we don't know what happened to the clones. They say they've been reassigned. We don't know what that means. So we're going to leave that for season 2.
Yeah.
3. What happened to Captain Hauser? We're not going to know anything about Captain Hauser.
Yeah, season 2.
That's season 2. Where are the bounty hunters looking for Omega? I think season 2. We're not going to see any bounty hunters in episode 16.
Fennec Shand is already off the trail. Cad Bane, we don't know his fate.
Exactly right. All right, next question. What's the Kaminoans' agenda? We know what their agenda is.
We already found out, so that's already answered.
Unfortunately, the Kaminoans are, pretty much out of the picture.
They're bankrupt.
Right.
And their facility is totaled.
That's right. Exactly.
And Lama Su,
unfortunately,
off somewhere.
I'm
not sure what happened to him.
Yeah, I'm on the impression now that Lama Su is no more. So let's move on. Will Rex and Ahsoka show up in the Bad Batch to help the Bad Batch?
Season 2.
Well, no. Well, Rex definitely. I see him in season.
Yeah, I think so. But Ahsoka.
Right. Ahsoka, maybe not episode 16. We'll definitely see Rex in episode 16.
What makes you think that?
Well, remember when the Batch left Omega to stay with AZ, and I think it was Echo that told her if anything happens, he's going to send her a signal, and she needs to send a signal out to Rex. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Okay. So I do believe that Rex will still appear.
Yeah, I remember Echo hit that button or something.
Right, and hit the button that instead of contacting Rex, she decided that, she was going to try to help the Batch herself. But I do believe we'll see Rex in episode 16, at least. Ahsoka, maybe not, maybe season 2. Okay. Yep. Where's Crosshair? We know where Crosshair is,
yep,
so we can take that off. Boba Fett, will Boba Fett show up?
Season 2.
Now, let me tell you something. Hopeful. This is interesting. Listen to this. I think we are still going to see Boba Fett in episode 16. And
how?
Right. There you go. I think there may be a post-credit scene. They're going to somehow try to tie this Bad Batch series to the Book of Boba Fett that's going to be taking place in December.
Maybe the post-credit scene will be like Boba Fett talking to the Empire.
I don't know.
They hire him.
But
wait a second. Mm-hmm. He's still a kid.
Well,
he's like a.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's hard to know what age he is.
No idea. But if he was manufactured in 32 BBY.
Right.
Hold on, let me think. 32 BBY, 10 years later.
Okay.
So it's like 13.
Okay. All right.
Because he was born in 32 BBY. This is since 19 BBY.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I think he's about 13.
Okay, that's fine. All right. Well, I think there may be a post-credit scene that's going to tie the Bad Batch to the Book of Boba Fett. So I think Boba Fett will show up in a post-credit section.
Agree to disagree.
And I guess this will be, if there is a post-credit scene, will this be the first time we've seen one in an animated series?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
But also, agree to disagree.
Okay, that's fine. That's exactly
Wait a second.
Fine.
Doesn't that scene with Darth Vader at the end of the Clone Wars season 7 count?
I don't think so. I'll have to go back and take a look.
Remember, it was Darth Vader with the snow trooper?
When he's in the snow, right?
Yeah.
He's going through and he finds the lightsaber, I think, right? Was it Ahsoka's lightsaber he found in the snow?
Yes.
Okay, something like that. Okay. Well, we'll see. It may not happen, but who knows? But anyway, so those are our questions. We'll just wait and see what happens this Friday. We will cover it. We will talk about it. And then, we are actually working on preparing, being a part of a recap of season 1. Yep. More details to come on that. Okay. But for now, where can people find us?
On Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Radio Public, Amazon Music, Audible, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Pandora, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Okay. And once again, you can find us on YouTube. We're also on Instagram and Facebook at Father Son Galaxy. And we have it. Right. And we have a web address, fathersongalaxy.com.
Yep. We're on Twitter too.
Yes.
So don't forget the Twitter page.
Yes. Thank you very much. All right. So that is it. We will see you next week for the season finale. All right.
Bye, everybody.
The Bad Batch. All right. So until then, take care. We'll see you again.